reminding me that we can go at 7:25 instead of 7:30. So we'll get things started in the spirit of making things brief. If you all rise with me and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge my allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you'd still remain standing for a moment of silence for Ronald Pesek, the father-in-law of the confidential secretary, Luce Pesek, and James McCary, former Fourth Ward councilman who served in the 90s. Thank you very much. We'll begin this evening here. Just a quick heads up. Two housekeeping things. The first of which is I just want to make a quick announcement. The town has recently been experiencing an IT issue with bogus bills going out for individuals who have work in front of planning and zoning. Please be advised that those bills are in fact bogus. If you received a bill recently, please contact those departments and make sure that your bill is legit. I just wanted to put that on the radar before we get started here. We'll kick off with the public hearing on the amended zone changes. I don't know, Joe, normally you would read the notice, or Madam Clerk, you'll read the notice for us. We'll have
I normally
the
read
clerk
the
do that.
notice.
Yeah.
Ready? Notice is hereby given that there has been introduced before the town board of the town of Walk Hill, New York, a local law entitled, a local law of the town of Walk Hill, County of Orange, amending chapter 249 of the town code, zoning and related chapters, inclusive of updating and amending the town of Walk Hill zoning map reference in chapter 249-5 of the code of the town of Walk Hill, County of Orange. Please take further notice that a continued public hearing will be held by the town board of the town of Walk Hill on January 22nd, 2026 at 7:25 p.m. at Walk Hill Town Hall, 99 Tower Drive, Building A, Middletown, New York, to consider the adoption of the aforesaid introductory local law. Any resident of the town of Walk Hill is entitled to be heard upon said introductory local law at such public hearing. Copies of the proposed local law are available online at townofwalkhill.com. Hard copies are available for review at the Walk Hill Town Hall, 99 Tower Drive, Building A. The town of Walk Hill make every effort to ensure the hearing is accessible to persons with disabilities. Anyone requiring special assistance and/or reasonable accommodation should contact the town clerk by order of the town board of the town of Walk Hill, Louisa Ingrassia, town clerk. And the notice was published and posted in accordance with law.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. I move to open the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. That means that the floor is open to anyone who wishes to speak on this topic, which is the zoning change. Just to remind everybody, this is a holdover from last year, I believe December, but some of the gentlemen who were on the dais here back then might feel free to correct me, that we are looking at changing some zoning that has been proposed to the town. I believe Mr. Johnson actually headed up that committee who made the submittal. So if you'd like to say a few words, Eric.
Sure. Thanks, Frank. If you guys recall, this is something that's been going on, I think, 2 years now. The public hearing has been actually open that whole time from when we had the first one. Then we had an additional one when we were looking at, we had the report back from the county and the final stuff from the committee. So that was the meeting that we had in December. So the public hearing has been open for about 2 years and still open. So if there's anything that you have a concern with or an issue with, please reach out. That's why we're holding it open as long as we can, because we want as much communication from the public, from, any of the people that might be affected by the proposed changes, so we can address everything that, we can possibly address. So if you looked at the zone changes, a lot of it had to do with preserving the character of Walk Hill, and keeping things in a fashion that you're not going to change the dynamics where somebody lives by changing the zone. So when zoning is what keeps your quality of life, your space around your house, your lot lines, your spacing of actual lots and things like that in check. And that's why certain people choose to live in an area where there's like larger lots or smaller lots, which is one of the nice things about Walk Hill. We have every dynamic there. But the idea was if you choose to live in a place like that, to not let someone come in aboard and then change that zone so it changes your quality of life. So that was the thought behind a lot of that. And then also keeping that in mind, you have to allow for growth, smart growth, planned growth. You have to, incorporate all that as well. So that's what the committee tried to do. And, I think they did a pretty good job. If you look at the overall plan that was submitted, the county wanted to keep the overlays for higher density. And the issue that the committee had with that is what you just heard me describe. If you live in an area where there's like 3-acre zoning and you can have a cluster development where you can have lots as small as an acre or 3/4 of an acre, and you chose to purchase your house and make your investment and live there and raise your family, and now some board can come in and say, oh, this piece of property next door to you can be zoned down to 3/4 of an acre, it dramatically changes your quality of life. So that's why overlays are probably, not recommended. If you want to have higher density, what the committee recommended is make those zone changes for those areas so they're permitted without the overlay. So therefore you're not, changing somebody's neighborhood with a decision for an overlay. So that was the biggest thing that the county had. We have, I think, 4 different overlays, and they wanted to keep all of those. And again, I feel we have zones set up with density of housing for a reason, and people choose to live in those zones. It's not fair to them for a board, whether it be planning or zoning, or this board to go in and make a change and change everything around them. So that's where we're at with everything.
Thank you very much, Eric. So at this time, I'd like to open up the floor for anybody who'd like to speak. Don't all rush up to here at once. Councilman, I'll open it up to you guys. If anybody here would like to speak, we'll start with Ward 1. Mark?
Sure. Yeah, so first of all, the Master Plan Review Committee did a fantastic job and sent their work to the county, and this is what came back, the 4 things that the county does not agree. And I'm kind of in the middle. I don't agree with the county, and I don't agree with, so I kind of believe that if we can, as far as like the overlay, lessen the amount of areas that it can be had, also kind of change the definition. And the same thing with the conservation subdivision. Change the definition of it. Now's the time, right? Make it so that it's single family homes or something along those lines. And I think, with the board to speak about it, you hash it out, and however it goes, it goes. I will say to the new members, however, in order to override what the county wants, we have to be at least 4 votes
Yes.
against that. So it's going to require conversation. It's going to require, and that's where I'm at now. And, with new people on the board, new ideas, we'll see where this goes. Right. Maybe something's brought up that I wasn't thinking about, or somebody can word it better. So, I just feel like I don't want to get rid of those 2 options for the town. Again, the overlay, beauty of the overlay is you can always say no. It doesn't matter. If you don't like the project, you just say no. But anyway, we'll see where this goes.
Well said, Mark. Don?
Thanks very much. I think that the nature of the town and the growth physical is something that has to be reflected in the master plan. It has to have long-term study, long-term consideration. I have not seen an overlay I like. So I'm going to be as analytical, probably problematic as possible.
All right. Thank you very much. Steve?
So I've been part of this committee for 2.5 years, along with Mr. Johnson here. I'm kind of leaning toward what Mr. Johnson was talking about on the way this is done, due to the fact that right now, all decisions on the zoning and stuff like that, when it comes to high density, is controlled by the board, not by the zoning at all. I think we need to come with a healthier mix where perhaps maybe where we have DPW's water coming in where we can have high density should be the option where the board has a decision, as opposed to areas where it takes water from the ground table and causes major problems in the long run when you have a high density, let's say in Ward 1 or Ward 4, where there's not as much public water and sewage. So that's definitely something we have to continue talking about so we can come to a better understanding for what's we consider a good idea for the town and something that we should bring out to the town so they definitely have a say in what they do, what we do.
All right, thank you very much. We've heard from Ward 4. I'm just going to add it in my 2 cents on this really quickly, which is that being new to this board, not necessarily new to the process and or the Master Plan Review Committee, I do think that the recommendations, certainly with what I've heard on the board right now, merit further conversation. So at this time, I'd like to leave the public comment section open and table the discussion.
Second.
Thank you. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Ayes carry. Very good. That brings us to the public participation section of our normal meeting. This allows you, the individuals here, and if we have attendees online, to join us and speak for up to 3 minutes on any topic that's currently on the agenda. Anyone? This truly will be the fastest meeting. I thought reorg was going to be quick. Yes, sir. Good evening. Wow. There you go.
Wow.
Use your outside voice. Thank you, Mr. Knoll.
I was looking at the 74 Van Buren Road resolution. And I was actually familiar with a house that had mold, that had removed. It was extremely expensive. And I was just wondering if you could share. So if someone goes in and remediates the mold, what's next for them? And where's the money coming from to do all this work out of that?
That is an excellent question. So right now, the mold remediation is specific to the maintenance of the property itself. It's still currently occupied. If you're unfamiliar with the property, anyone else in the audience, this is the old Rockville property. This is Harold Card's property. Harold was kind enough to gift this property to the town back in 2021. It's been town property ever since. He does have a residency clause in that contract, which he renegotiated with the town board, I think, in 23. But again, gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong.
It's always been
24.
there.
24. At any rate, the town has an obligation to maintain that property and allow Mr. Card to use it as his domicile. That said, there is a black mold problem and the town does need to, for all intents and purposes, manage that immediately for no other reason but for Mr. Card's personal health. So we have got to embark on that process. I believe that the town set aside money last year in the 26 budget to address some portions of this. This resolution is to garner RFPs for proposals. And then, of course, then the process is that it goes out to bid, we select the bid, and we move forward from there. Based on what the findings are on the contractors' walkthroughs in that RFP, we'll assess what the scope should be, and then we'll address that moving forward in the 27 budget accordingly. Anybody else? All right. Very good. We'll close down the public section, the public comment section right now. We'll move over to the warrant section. However, I would like to make a motion to table the warrants until the next work session.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Just for some town edification, the warrants this week are substantially high. I'm not sure if anybody has heard, but the town is undergoing a little bit of financial stress as we end out our fiscal year and get to the end of tax season. In the spirit of that, we want to make sure we make payroll first before we get into the warrants. So we'll deal with that next week and get through payroll this week. That said, that brings us to our resolution section. So, Madam Clerk.
Resolution of the Town Board of the Town of Walk Hill authorizing the Commissioner of Public Works to solicit proposals for the mold remediation and reconstruction of 74 Van Burenville Road, Middletown, New York. Whereas the town is required under New York State law and town code to purchase such items from the lowest responsible bidders, now therefore let it hereby resolve that the town board hereby authorizes and directs the Commissioner of Public Works to advertise for and solicit bids from qualified vendors and thereafter report back to the town board with the results of said bids. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Coyne,
Yes.
Mr. Soleo,
Yes.
Mr. Vanilla,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes, ma'am.
Supervisor Denoto.
Yes.
Resolution of the Town of Walk Hill for the promotional advancement for the Town of Walk Hill Department of Public Works. Resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Walk Hill hereby makes the following promotional advancement in the Department of Public Works effective January 26, 2026. Scott Philor, promoted to skilled laborer, highway. Michael James, promoted to skilled laborer, water and sewer. Further resolved that the promotion is subject to the submission and acceptance of all appropriate documentation by the Orange County Department of Human Resources and effective upon such acceptance. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Who was the second?
Mr. Johnson.
Johnson. Mr. Coyne,
Yes.
Mr. Soleo,
Yes.
Mr. Vanilla,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes, ma'am.
Supervisor Denoto.
Yes, ma'am.
Resolution of the Town Board of the Town of Walk Hill authorizing the town supervisor to execute an agreement with Arcadis for the town's industrial pretreatment program. Hereby resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Walk Hill hereby authorizes the town supervisor or his designee to execute an agreement with Arcadis in the sum of $30,000 in accordance with the proposal annexed hereto, along with any other appropriate documents to effectuate the intent of this resolution, all of which shall be subject to review and approval by the town attorney. These services will be funded through budget line SWA 8310.4411. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Coyne,
Yes.
Mr. Soleo,
Yes.
Mr. Vanilla,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes, ma'am.
Supervisor Denoto.
Yes.
Resolution of the Town Board of the Town of Walk Hill authorizing the Commissioner of Public Works to accept annual highway bids for materials and services for the Town of Walk Hill for 2026. Resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Walk Hill hereby authorizes and directs the Commissioner of Public Works to accept the following bids from the lowest responsible bidders: Surpass Chemical for liquid chlorine, Surpass Chemical for liquid sodium hydroxide, Brentag Northeast LLC for liquid orthophosphate, Surpass Chemical for liquid polyaluminum chloride, and Brentag Northeast LLC for wastewater polymer, each of whom shall furnish all materials and services at the bid prices set forth in their respective submissions to the town as needed, and for the appropriate town officials to execute all documents necessary to effectuate the procurement of said materials and services for use by the town DPW as needed for the 2026 calendar year. I have a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Coyne,
Yes.
Mr. Soleo,
Yes.
Mr. Vanilla,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes, ma'am.
Supervisor Denoto.
Yes, ma'am.
Resolution of the Town of Walk Hill declaring that the Excelsior Road improvements are a type 2 action under the secret regulation. Therefore, hereby resolved as follows: in accordance with provisions of paragraph 617.5 C2 of the regulations implementing the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, the town board hereby determines that the instant project is a type 2 action, as same consists of the replacement, rehabilitation, or reconstruction of a structure or facility in kind on the same site, as well as routine or continuing agency administration and management, and is not subject to further review under secret. I believe that should be Excelsior Avenue. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Coyne,
Yes.
Mr. Soleo.
Yes.
Mr. Vanilla,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes, ma'am.
Supervisor Dendonto.
Yes.
Resolution of the Town Board of the Town of Walk Hill authorizing the town supervisor to execute an outside vendor contract with the Humane Society of Port Jervis Deer Park Incorporated. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Walk Hill hereby authorizes the town supervisor to execute a certain agreement with the Humane Society of Port Jervis Deer Park Incorporated for the housing and care of stray animals within the town of Walk Hill pursuant to the annex contract for the 2026 calendar year, along with any other appropriate documents to effectuate the intent of this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Coyne,
Yes.
Mr. Soleo,
Yes.
Mr. Vanilla,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes, ma'am.
Supervisor Dendonto.
Yes.
Resolution of the Town Board of the Town of Walk Hill appointing a person as marriage officer. Resolved the Town Board of the Town of Walk Hill hereby appoints Town Clerk Louisa Ingrassi as marriage officer within the town, which person shall serve at the pleasure of the town board in accordance with domestic relations law, paragraph 11-C4, but in any event, which appointment shall expire on December 31st, 2026. Further resolve the appointment marriage officer shall have the authority to solemnize marriages exclusively within the boundaries of the town of Walk Hill in accordance with domestic relations law, paragraph 11-C2, and further resolve the appointed marriage officer shall serve without compensation by the town, and further resolve the appointment shall take effect immediately. Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Coyne,
Yes.
Mr. Soleo,
Yes.
Mr. Vanilla,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes, ma'am.
Supervisor Dendonto.
Yes.
And that's all I have.
All right. Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. All right, guys, just to keep you all on your toes, we're going to move some stuff around in the backside of this meeting here to keep things paced a little bit better than perhaps they have been in the past. So what I'd like to do now is do commissioners, chiefs, and department reports. We'll start with the commissioner, our new commissioner, Michelle Baker.
Thank you. This is my first report, so I apologize if I stumble a little bit. The big topic for this week is our snowstorm. We're expecting a severe snowstorm on Sunday. Our accumulation could be 1 to 2 inches per hour, so it's going to be very treacherous out there. We're asking residents to please stay off the roads if at all possible. If you have to drive, please be mindful that our plow trucks are very big. They are going to be in intersections. They back up in intersections, often go on the wrong side of the road to can clear all the roads away. So please be mindful and stay away from the trucks if you can. Remember that there is no parking allowed on town roads in snowstorms more than 2 inches. We ask that everybody keep their vehicles in their driveways and off the town roads so that we can plow. We've used about 2,300 tons of salt so far this year. We use about 160 tons of salt every time we go out. So it is substantial, but we have plenty of salt in our stockpile, so we are going to be just fine for the storm. Our Parks Department, it does help our Highway Department with all the plowing. They also maintain all of the buildings and the grounds here. They do about 3,500 feet of sidewalks, which is a lot. They are working on some tree work for the winter at Corns Campground, the park and ride on Baker Road, and the golf course. They're training some new employees during the winter season, doing some equipment maintenance, working on the golf course clubhouse. The water department had a roof leak that they repaired. Highway department's had some plumbing issues that they repaired. They've been quite busy, and they do all of this with all their staff in-house. They don't contract any of this work out. Our water and sewer department has been working on some leaks from water mains that typically happen this time of year when the frost gets very cold, the pipes break, the older ones. We just finished our wastewater treatment plant upgrades. The project is fully operational and complete now. We're working on our water meter project. So all of our residents will be getting new water meters. If you haven't already, please call and make an appointment to get your meter changed. There is no charge to you. With the upcoming storm, if you have fire hydrants on your property and you are physically able, we would appreciate any help in keeping them clear. And they are not anticipating any problems with the predicted storm. There should be no disturbance of services, but if anybody runs into a problem, please let us know. I just want to thank the board for giving us a new employee, and we welcome Natasha Fay to our department. She has a great background in accounting and she's interested in learning the grants, so she's going to be a great asset to us. Thank you.
All right, very good.
I'll turn on the mic here. All right, I don't see the police chief here with us, so what we'll do is we'll jump to buildings. Yep, if you don't mind, come right up here to the podium. Uh, I just use your outside voice. We haven't figured out that mic yet, so.
For December of last year, we put in 140 permits. We issued 85 certificates, those give us a completion of the application that we received. We collected $6,152,000. 36 tonight and 751 extensions. But you can note that as of January 1st of this year, the 2025 New York State Building Code were adopted. And we are now working on my your end report.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. All right, from there, we go to the assessor's office.
Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome, new and old.
Stagehand, sorry, the stagehand never gets applause. Okay.
Welcome, new and old members. First of all, I want to say that all exemptions have been mailed out, all renewals, and they have to be in by March 1st, 2026. The assessment office is currently processing all the renewals, which consist of low-income senior, disability with limited income, not-for-profits, clergy, agricultural, forestry, veterans, and firefighter and ambulance personnel. Beyond the renewals, we always accept new applications for any exemptions that may come in. I want to remind the new homeowners that they should apply for the STAR credit through the state of New York by calling 518-457-2036, or they can register online at www.tax.ny.gov. Because the state took it over, they're no longer having people come in for the STAR exemptions through our office. They have to go right through the state to register and make sure they register for the STAR credit check as well. Assessment activity as of the close of December 2025. The Board of Assessment Review processed and settled over 400 applications. I myself processed 65 small claims applications and settled all those cases. We've processed 44 public hearing mailings for various projects that are going on in the town throughout 2025. The town services 7 fire districts, which we proudly took in 121 approved firefighter ambulance applications. We also approved 727 properties with veterans exemptions, 284 low-income senior exemptions, which I want to talk to the board about possibly this year raising the income limit. The governor has raised that income limit. We're currently at $37,399, and the governor has raised it to over $58,000. So I'd like to meet with the board at some time and discuss to see if we can help our seniors out, as well as helping the veterans. The county has adopted a higher level for our veterans, and I would like to see if we can do that for them as well. But we can do that at a work session and, you know, get all the paperwork and inventory and talk about it. We've also processed 135 agricultural and 16 forestry exemptions. The current assessed value of the town for 2025 was over $773 million, with a taxable value of over $643 million. The town continues to have positive growth and development, and the sales continue to be very steady and very high as they come in. I also want to congratulate Michelle Baker for her new appointment. We're going to continue to work well together, and especially with John. You have a great team, and I congratulate you. You're welcome. The assistant assessor is also actively out there doing inspections and building permits. We coordinate with the building department. We're working on building permits for the new assessment roll coming up May 1st. So our tentative roll will be May 1st. Our final roll will be July 1st. We have our grievance date 4th Tuesday in May. And I'll be back next month. That's all I could say.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. That rounds out our department head reports. So what I'd like to do now is go to our second public participation section. This again is 3 minutes allotted to anybody in the audience online who wishes to comment at all on any item that is town related. Going once. No one. All right. Very good. That brings us to the roundout section where we're going to get to the councilman and the clerk's comments. We're going to start with Madam Clerk and hear what you have to say.
Well, I'm sure everyone is interested to know, what do they actually do in there? So, in 2025, we processed in excess of 1,500 births and acknowledgements, over 800 deaths, almost 150 marriage licenses, 800 or so dog licenses, 130 space certificates. We certified over 7,000 copies of vital records, 18 event permits, 100 senior dog licenses for which we do not charge persons over 65. About 80 or so park rentals. We do beach passes. We do all kinds of stuff. The biggest one is in excess of 2,000 notary signatures. I have my deputy and my part-timer are both notaries. I myself am a notary. I acknowledge that they do most of the notarizing. I do some, but not a lot. We've had several conversations with previous boards that kind of didn't go anywhere about getting some more notaries in the building. The building department, I think, requires a notary on their applications. And I think that it would just help out. I know notaries are hard to find pretty much anymore. So, and just on a side note, I have been working with the same staffing level since 2003. I have two full-time deputies and a part-timer, who, in my opinion, are grossly undercompensated. And I understand that we have financial issues, and we certainly are willing to participate in any type of thing that we need to do. But we will be coming to see you folks in September at budget time, because I think it's time. Like I said, I have the smallest staff, I think, in the town. And I know everyone works very hard here, but everything that happens in the town in some way, shape, or form ends up on our desks. And I'm very grateful. I have Mercedes and Josephine, who are my deputies. I think they're here tonight. Hardworking people. I couldn't do half of what I do without them. And we have a part-timer, Michelle, who, when we found out she was a notary and she had good handwriting, we said, "You're hired." And other than that, I'm excited to sit across from Michelle Baker. I kind of got tired of looking at my brother for all those years. And so I wish you the best, and I know that you're going to do the ladies proud. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. All right, we'll turn it over to the dais here and do councilman comments. Gentlemen, if you have a committee that you're on, I know, Mark, you speak for the veterans, so I'd like you to continue to do that. If we haven't touched base on it, by all means, please touch base on it along with your own personal thoughts. Take it away, Mark.
Thank you, sir. So post 1181, they meet on the first Tuesday of every month at 7 o'clock down at the community center, West Warren Drive. If you're interested in joining the post, call Commander Rob Conrad, 914-906-5217. Post 151 meets the second Tuesday of every month, and they do it a little bit differently. They have dinner at 6, and then their meeting is at 7. If you're interested in joining over there on Waywayond Avenue is where they meet. Roger Reed is the commander, 845-649-6031. It's really not many events to talk about this time of year. Just like everybody else, they're kind of hibernating, right? As far as the Memorial Park over there, we are working on one last monument. I know we said that 2 monuments ago, but I truly believe this might be the last one. I'll have more information as we get closer to spring. But it will be it'll be near the 9/11 memorial that we had just put up. So stay tuned, I guess. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Mark. Don.
Thanks very much, and thanks to the board for the welcome, being the newest member on the board at this time. Especially thanks to the supervisor and the board and the town for the opportunity to attend the Association of Towns training. Outstanding event, specifically for newly electeds throughout the state, with a meeting that was hosted by the State Controller's Office in Albany. Excellent event, informs new electeds with regard to the emphasis of the duties and responsibilities that we should share. Also happy to have received my first letter from a neighbor of 20+ years who has had an issue, and commended our new commissioner, Michelle Baker, for her positive correspondence and immediate engagement on the matter. So very thankful for that as well. Hoping that in February, I'll have an opportunity to meet with the folks in the Water and Sewer Department and start participating in the different committees. Thank you all.
Excellent. Thank you. Steve.
Currently trying to work out the logistics with the police department to have our first real meeting of the year. Chief's been rather busy, and we're gonna get to do this probably by the next meeting.
Right. Very good. Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. As you heard, our new commissioner, congratulations, by the way. The snowstorm that's coming is a nor'easter, and basically what that means is it comes northeast, so it takes warm, wet air right over the Gulf of Mexico, brings it up, which meets cold, dry air from Canada. The cold air is much denser, basically like wringing a towel. It will wring out all the moisture. So the warmer the air, the more moisture there is. So you will have a couple of inches of snow falling in an hour. So it makes it very treacherous to drive on the roads at the height of the storm. And they usually last about a 24-hour period. And because both air masses are relatively large, we're expecting, if it was rain, it'd be 1.5 to 2 inches of rain. Convert that to snow, it's, 1.5 to 2 feet. It's about 1 inch to foot, ratio. So that is coming. So please get everything you need Friday, Saturday, and just stay home by the fire and watch Netflix and be safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's good advice. All right, so I think that brings the things to me. I also want to extend a congratulations to Michelle on her appointment. Very excited that we here at the town of Walk Hill could be the first to say that we were able to push up someone so qualified, and thank you in that respect for breaking the glass ceiling for us. So we appreciate that. I want to reiterate what Mr. Johnson said, what Mr. Coyne said about the weather. Please do pay attention. This stuff is serious stuff. It can really become treacherous. It's not about whether or not you go off the road. It's whether or not you hit somebody else on the road or get stuck. And here's the thing. The EMS folks, the fire department folks, they're going to have their hands full too. So help us help them by not putting yourself in harm's way. Pay attention to the warnings that you've just heard. And then lastly, but certainly not least, you've all heard at this point in time that we are doing a deep dive into our books. The books are a little bumpy, to say the least. So we are going to undertake a deep audit, as it were, of our finances over an extended period of time to figure out how and why we ended up in this place. And we will work diligently to correct it over the next few months. Bear with us as we move forward through this, because there will be a lot of dodging and weaving as we get the numbers pulled together. Once we're over the tax season, things become very much easier for everybody, but it doesn't take us out of the woods. It does mean that our 2026 budget requires a deep dive and a rethink. So stay tuned as we go through and make those adjustments as well. It will take some time. There'll be lots of conversations and discussions, but at the end of the day, we will have put the house back in order and righted the boat. So bear with us as we move forward into the 26th year. That's pretty much all I have. So that brings our meeting to a close. I just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, all in favor? Aye. Thank you very much for coming.
Okay.